Okay, what we've got today, we've got Zx6R. A few details here. Currently MOT'd. Service book's a bit out of date. Quite a bit of service history, some invoices, HPI clear. Let's go for a little spin, let's see what we got. So, a little J1. Now, nice and original. All the fairings are original. No pattern stuff on there. There is some damage. If you can see, there's a few bits here and there. A few scrapes. Top fairings are remarkably good. Bit of damage down here. Silence is good. Wheels need painting, obviously. They're pretty scabby. Swinging arm's gone a little bit here and there, which is it's not unusual. What else have we got? I know the toolkit's under the seats, so it's a nice original bike. It's got potential, I think, to chuck some money at it and make a really sweet 600. You know, even thoughts of restoration enter the mind. Right, let's have a little spin. So, what have we done? So we took it for a ride when we first got it. Wasn't bad actually, to be fair, but the carburation was a little bit off as you let the revs down. It was basically hanging, what we would call it. So when you get around about the 2,000 to 3,000 mark, it would hesitate, stay there for a while before coming down. It's a classic sign of it running lean for some reason. So we pulled the carbs apart, and lo and behold, pilot jets were blocked. Not fully, because these carbs are quite a heavy downdraft angle, and they were sort of half blocked. So give them a good clean out. Reset the float heights. I think someone had been in there and had tried to compensate with higher float levels, higher fuel level in the carburetor, and really turned the mixture screws out. I mean, it almost fell out of the carburetors when we undone them. So once we've done the floats, set the mixtures back to standard, set the float heights correctly, and she is peachy. Changed the oil because the flow heights were so high. I was a bit worried it might have been flooding, it might have contaminated the oil, but it didn't seem too bad, and it actually looked quite fresh. Because one of the service sheets was March this year, and oil filter change. So may have been a bit unnecessary to change the oil, but anyway, did it. So that's good. Fuel system with new fuel filter and new fuel hoses. So that's the hose from the tap to the filter to the pump. They were in average sort of condition. One of them was been made up. It wasn't very nice. Sorted that, and just a little basic check over. So we're in two minds what to do with it really. So I think make a nice project for somebody. For us to get too involved in it, i.e. painting the wheels and bodywork and stuff, is probably a little bit too much to do, because then the price would make it too high. So I think it'd be nice to sell it as it is. You could just use it, no problem at all. Yeah, looking after it, keep it oiled up and preservative on it and stuff, and then if you wanted to do it up, you could at a later stage. Front brakes feel really good. Back brake is a bit average actually, you've got to stand on it a bit. But then they never were that good. Just testing the brakes there. So you could probably do with a rebuild in the rear caliper, make sure that's good, and also the pivot on the brake pedal, because they can dry out, and that will give you a really poor feel. And yeah, brakes are pretty good actually. Who needs a rear brake anyway? As I always say, you only need the rear brake when you're on the grass. That's nice and clean. Just wait for this guy to go a bit. Took over nice and steady. Oh, I didn't get very far, did he? Yeah, she wants to go alright, that's for sure. These are cracking bikes to ride. It's a nice size actually. I'm 6'1" and a bit, and this fits really well. It's a proper size motorcycle, but not particularly heavy. You know, medium frame. This is the height of the 600s really. I think it'll probably do with the front tyre, because it's a little bit worn and feels a bit yucky when it's cold. Not that we've really been to get much temperature into it, but rear tyres will be good. Oh, what else did we? We cleaned out the filter that runs hot water through the carburettor, so that's to prevent carburettor icing, and that's occasionally that gets blocked. That's not uncommon to find them blocked, and you don't really notice it unless you use it in low temperatures, and then you'll have cutting out issues and woolly running. Oh yeah, she's good. So watch out for it on eBay. Was a tricky one. There we go, another gem. There's the mileage.